Hello, in this video I'm gonna do a comparison between the Stream Deck and a cheaper alternative. So you can see here is the Stream Deck, this is the 15 key version, and this is the Mirabox Stream Dock. So as I've joked around it earlier, you can buy it by a misclick by searching for a Stream Dock instead of Stream Deck, and the prices are pretty interesting because Stream Deck, the original one, is priced at around $100 US, whereas this one isn't much cheaper. It's between $70 to $80 US. So you can see that the price difference isn't as big, and the devices are pretty similar, but as you may notice already, the Mirabox is way bigger than the Stream Deck. But I'm gonna show you that here. So you can see the size is quite different. Also, the angle is a bit different. See, I don't know if you can see it well, but the Stream Deck is at a higher angle, and what's worth noting, they both come with stands. So first I'm gonna show you the Mirabox stand. This is the one. It's at a pretty cheap quality. It's cool that you can adjust the angle here and do all the stuff. You can adjust it like that, or make it even a bigger angle, or choose this smaller hinge and also make it a lower or higher angle depending on your preference. I think it's cool, but the quality of this thing isn't as good as the Stream Deck, which I'm gonna show you right now in a moment. But let's place it on the stand. You can see for some people it will be good enough, of course, but if you wanna just move it around, then it'll flop. So I don't like it really. I know it's minor thing, but for some it will be something important. The build quality, you can see it just flows around. If you click on something, it just flies away, and you don't even need to press that hard. Whereas on the Stream Deck, the stand included is way better quality. It's way heavier, which is important for a device that shouldn't swing around your desk. Also, it has this like pad that I don't want to take the foil off right now, but if you take the foil off of it, then it shouldn't move around the desk. And it's attached with a magnet. The magnet isn't really strong, but I think it's strong enough to hold it well if you just place it correctly. And yeah, now it is flying around, but it doesn't. I didn't take the foil off. I also have another Stream Deck on my desk that I'm using like on a daily basis, and I've taken the foil off, and it actually doesn't move around the desk if I click on it, but I can just easily pick it up. It doesn't stick to the desk, it just doesn't move around it. So I think it's pretty great. And with the Mirabox, you can see here we have some like rubber pads, but I'm always thinking about the price difference, that it's not as big. It just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you pick this device? But I'm also gonna talk about it later, because there are way more flaws about it. But maybe some people will prefer the bigger buttons, whatever. I'm just gonna take the stands off, and let's connect both of them to a computer. I'm not gonna connect them both at once, but let's connect the Stream Deck first to have a point of reference later. So I'm gonna connect it to a Mac, and just to make sure you know, I've connected it both to Mac and Windows and tested both of them on both of these operating systems. And on Windows, both of them performed better. But I think that if you're using a Stream Deck, you're probably streaming or recording something, and you're probably doing it on Windows because it's mainly for oftenly used for playing games. Of course, sometimes you may want to do all the stuff with it, so it's great to have the compatibility with Mac. But let's see the Stream Deck first. So I'm just gonna connect it to my Mac. And let's switch to the Mac display. This is the Stream Deck software. This is the one on the right side, right here. And as we can notice, it's pretty similar to the Mirabox, which I'm gonna talk about in a moment. But these are the default ones, the default just icons. You can click around with these page changers. You can see that it says these are not clickable, by the way, like the the ones here are not clickable. It's just that on the computer and on the Stream Deck it says that you can add more actions using pages, profiles and folders, and indeed there are some folders. So if you see right here, these are the apps folders, and it shows you some apps. Of course you can edit everything. There is also the folder to like some shortcut websites, tutorials, but I actually don't think that these tutorials are intuitive. I think that they are not as user-friendly as I would think they would. And there are some emojis as well. You can open the emoji keyboard on your computer. You can see it asks me to go to System Preferences to actually allow ELGATO Stream Deck to use it. So I'm gonna simply allow it. And now it actually doesn't say it on the Stream Deck, but I should close the app fully. So since it's opened here on the top, I should right click on it and click on Quit Stream Deck. Then I'm gonna quit it, and now I'm gonna reopen it. And the keyboard, the emoji shortcut should work. Yes, it does. So it's great. Now let's talk about the software itself. So I haven't found it to be crashing at any kind of like point at any moment on nor macOS nor Windows. So it works smoothly, and also I think it's way more intuitive than on this cheaper version. And let me show you why. So as we can notice on the computer, we just have this page that's set right now. If we switch between them, they of course will change. We have the pages at the bottom. We can add more, of course. Then it'll automatically add the page switcher. You can click on any icon that you want. You can click on plus to select an icon from the library, but you can also click on this down arrow to set from a file to create new icon. I think that this feature is pretty important because you'll most likely prefer to have your icon adjusted to the size of the button, so it's not cut or doesn't have any borders around it. And this icon creation tool, which just opens in a browser, lets you simply do that, which I haven't found working on the Mirabox, and I'm gonna show you that also. So let's go back to the computer. You can also open Stream Deck icon library, so you can actually download some icon packs created by other users, and you can reset it to default as well. So let's see if it actually resets it. Yeah, it does. You can see this is the default icon for changing the volume. And to add an action, You can just select the action that you want to add. You can see there's lots of them, and they are pretty useful. All of them are working. Just everything works properly. Besides closing the apps. It didn't work on Windows nor Mac OS. Maybe I did something wrong, so I can't really assure you that it doesn't work, but for me it didn't on nor of these systems. So let's see also, let's just add a simple action like a hotkey. I think they are pretty useful, especially for OBS. You can click to assign and just click on the keystroke that you want to assign. See, now it is here, and it displays in real time on the Stream Deck. And of course it also works. So then you also have different profiles. You can create a new profile or edit profiles. In addition, you can select an application that will actually trigger this profile. So if you have several ones, for some of these you can set a application that will trigger the profile, which means that if you're within that app, the profile on the Stream Deck will open itself. And different profiles, I could compare it to books. You may have different books, all of them have pages, and you also have different profiles, and all of them have completely different pages. You can set different things, and in order to switch between these profiles, you can either do it manually or do it by selecting an app that will trigger it, and if you close that app, it will switch itself back to the default profile. So I think that's great. You can just add more simply, and they will have blank pages. You can right click on stuff to delete pages, delete buttons, and what's also important are the plugins. So on the right side you can see these are all the default things, the default controllers. The volume controller is a plugin, but if you click on the settings icon here, you can go to plugins, click on plus, and it will open the web page of the Elgato marketplace, and it'll let you get some great plugins. I found some that are pretty useful, but I found them on Windows. I don't think they are available on Mac OS. The ones that I've found useful, but you can see there are some for Photoshop, and this is a great advantage of the Stream Deck, that it has lots of plugins, lots of users that create these plugins, and for Mirabox it doesn't have as much users and as much plugins. I actually didn't find any useful things besides the OBS Studio, which I'm also gonna show you quickly in a moment. So let's maybe move on to the Mirabox. And here, once we have the point of reference, which is the Stream Deck, we'll talk about the disadvantages of the Mirabox, because I think it mostly comes with disadvantages. So I'm just gonna unplug the Stream Deck and plug in the Mirabox. See, it's being turned on right now, and it is there. This is the default page that shows, and as you can see, it has some Chinese stuff, and of course this is mainly for the Chinese market. The device is mainly for the Chinese market, so I think that may be useful, but I don't really know if you need like Baidu or Taobao on a Stream Deck tool. I think that Stream Deck is mostly for streaming, although we also encountered some apps or websites like Google, I think, on the Stream Deck, so I can't really say that it's bad that we have some default icons that we may not need, because we can edit everything. And now getting back to this device, if I zoom in, then you'll see the quality of the display. The display itself doesn't have a bad resolution, but I think it's something about the processor in this thing that makes the quality like so distorted, as you can see right here on the pixels. And some of these apps will have like weird distortions going on. I think that I have the brightness set too bright, so I'm gonna quickly readjust it. Yeah, now I think that you can see these distortions. I know that these are animated icons, so it may be the fault of these icons themselves, but I'm gonna show you in a moment that it also appears on some of the non-animated ones. And I also think that they could do better. They could just upload some better quality icons. Now if I zoom out, then I'm gonna show you the next page. It has like some weather from Beijing and Shenzhen. By default, you can also change the regions, I believe. Then these are the dates in Beijing and Shenzhen. You can click on them to change, to like cycle through the day, the full date, and the the time. Then there is also a calendar and some stuff. These notes and reminders don't work on Mac. They do on Windows sometimes, but on Mac never. Then this is like a timer. I actually didn't stop it. And some countdown from 1 minute. Then you can change the brightness of this Stream Dock. It's also great. I don't know why you need Apple Maps on Stream Dock, but never mind. Don't mind these icons right here. I was just testing some stuff. But these are so-called like touch bar icons, because there are MacBooks that come with touch bars, and the touch bar icons are a default page both on macOS and Windows. I don't really understand that, but yeah, some of these icons just don't work whatsoever. And if you can see the rewind, like the back, the rewind, or the rewind, the fast forward, or the play pause, the brightness, the volume, there were volumes and muting switch, and here was an icon that would simply put my laptop to sleep, and that sleep icon has crashed the whole app. On macOS. On Windows it didn't work whatsoever, it just didn't do anything, but on Mac it crashed the whole system. Not the whole system, but the app. So as you may notice, both the Stream Dock and the Stream Deck app are opened on the top bar as extensions instead of apps on the bottom bar. And somehow I can understand that, because these apps shouldn't be closed in order for the device to work properly, but I think that they could do it better. There are some other app manufacturers that can do it without the app being necessarily displayed on the top. And the problem with it is that when this app has frozen, the Stream Dock app has frozen, then if I hovered my cursor over that app, it was loading and couldn't finish loading. Then if I hovered my cursor over the Stream Dock app on the top bar, then it also was loading. So I couldn't just click on it to exit. Then I also wanted to, I couldn't right click on the app on the bottom, because it also isn't there. And I couldn't click on the top bar on the left side, because if I focus over this app, it works like a plugin for macOS, not like an app, so it just doesn't display the options at the top, which means that I also can't use a shortcut like Option Command Q to quit the app. So that's pretty inconvenient, especially if the app is a bit faulty and it tends to crash several times during my adventure with it. Mostly on Mac, but on Windows it also had some episodes with crashing. But on Windows I actually was able to close the apps because they were displayed in the system tray on the bottom bar, so I could just close it or go to the task manager and simply close it. On Mac it was a bit more difficult because Macs just have a different software, and I think that manufacturers should make their programs adjusted to both macOS and Windows, not just make it for Windows then copy paste it to macOS just in a different language. So also the problem with this app, I think that I've mentioned already that most of these buttons didn't work. Also opening app doesn't work, and most of the other things don't work here. The notes, they just don't do anything. I'm gonna click on the notes on my device. You can see it opens a black window and doesn't do anything else. The reminders also do the exact same thing. On Windows it worked, by the way. Then you can see there are some maybe useful things like weather query or calendar or time options as well. So for some it may be useful to have some information displayed on the device, but I also don't think that you look at your device that closely to read these details. You probably can as well see it on your laptop or on your PC. And what else about this device is annoying me is that the app is not intuitive at all. I've also mentioned that there's no plugins, and you need to just base your whole existence on these very few plugins that most of them aren't really useful, and if they are then they tend to break. You can see it's like Word or something, PowerPoint Actions. Then 3ds Max or Final Cut seems great. I haven't tested these out because I don't use these programs on daily basis. Then the OBS Studio plugins are sort of working. There are some, but it's just not as big library as in the Elgato, since Elgato has lots of users that actually create them. And you also have the tutorials here. And the scenes. There's nothing, okay. Never mind that. And icons. But what was actually annoying me about this app is intuitiveness. So you can see the profiles. I don't really know whether these are profiles or pages because you can switch between them on the device itself with this button. So you can cycle through these profiles. But there are also pages here which are mostly blank. So if you add something to this page, then you can't really do anything unless you add a page switcher, which I also don't know where it is because it's no, I don't actually want it here because it switches between my profiles, but I'm gonna replace it here. And now if I click on the Stream Deck, it switches between these pages, but it's so much of work. I think it's just not convenient. You could have also made, the manufacturer could have also made the page switches add themselves, and the profiles maybe just have an indication that it's a profile, not a page, because it's really great to have a distinguishment between profiles and pages, because profiles can be triggered automatically by opening a certain app, as I said when talking about the Stream Deck, and pages are just within one profile. So I think that there could be a better distinguishment, so I didn't have to look so closely into that app for so long to understand all of these functions. And I'm also a new user to the Stream Deck. It's not like I'm really used to the Stream Deck and it's just hard for me to move on to something else. No, I have tested both of these devices for the same amount of time, and the Stream Deck has more functions, has more plugins, better intuitivity within the app, and better quality. So in conclusion, both of these devices are priced similarly. If it was like $100 difference, then I would think about the cheaper device. But since it's about $20 of difference, I wouldn't even consider buying the cheaper alternative. I just think it's not worth it. But maybe for some beginner streamers, if you really want to save a few bucks, I also like saving a few bucks, but in this case I wouldn't choose the cheaper device just to save a few bucks, because I also don't know about the longevity of this device. Stream Decks are popular and we know that they last long, and the Mirabox, it's not the greatest one. Also about the quality, I've just reminded myself that I've also tested a similar device to this one, but with like a display bar on the side that didn't have like any buttons on the display bar. It only displayed like time and date and weather, and it had the very same software, stripped down version, the same one. I think that they are basing on some open source software, so they are so similar. And I've also tested another Chinese device that also had the same software, and they all were crashing in some random moments. And some of these devices, like the Polish one that I've tested, didn't actually click sometimes. So if I clicked on a button, it didn't recognize it as a click. And we know that on the Stream Deck, on the actual one, it always recognizes it. Doesn't matter if you press it like on the center or on the bottom, on the side, it always works. And I'd prefer to pay $20 more to just get a device that will last me longer and that has intuitive app, so I don't need to work on it as long as I would need on the Mirabox. It has a huge library of plugins, of different icons and many customization features, so I would choose the Stream Decks. And let me know in the comments down below which one would you choose based on what I've told you, and you can also do your own research and tell me which one is better for you. That's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.